Hello and welcome aboard Whale Pod to another episode of Xenoblade Chronicles 3. With our long stretch of side questing finally complete, we are preparing to at last undertake main story. And by preparing, I mean finally departing. But before we depart, we have done some class switching around. Lanz is now our player-controlled character, but we will start with Noah here. Noah is back in the Stalker class as we still need to open that class up for other characters to use. He is our first of two non-hero attackers. Mio is back in Medic Gunner as we can now go above rank 10 in that. And as a healer goes, Medic Gunner is pretty darn effective at just keeping people topped up. Uni is a Lost Vanguard now, the class she inherited from Monica, in order to start getting that class opening up for other characters to be able to use. She is the first of two defenders, and she is rocking the Topple Launch Smash all on one kit combo. I have as such given her the Gust bracelet so she can fire that off as soon as someone lands a break. And by someone, I mean either Mio, who has Glitter Stream as one of her master arts, or Tyon, who is our new Yumsmith. As such, Tyon is using his DLC expansion pass outfit, as he is an Agnian character, and Agnian Yumsmiths look hideous. I have chosen to link both the break arts together so that when Tyon does decide to use a fusion art of break and break, we will have double the chance of getting through an enemy's break resistance, with the double chance to have, we reduce break resistance with the break brooch, or break brooch, and then use both one after the other to just try and brute force our way through some break resistance here and get our combos started. Lanz, our player-controlled character, is in the Signifier class, a very unique class that has only two attacking arts in its lineup, and I am using neither of them, instead choosing to go for its one field setting art and two buff arts, one that grants all buffs currently on Lanz to all allies, and one that will apply a random buff to Lanz. I have that one paired with Shadow Eye from Sword Fighter because it is a buff art. It will apply attack up. The bonus is having own aggro value, which I can then transfer over with Resonant Flag. Oriole and Shadow Eye will both apply a buff to Lanz at the same time when linked together. Lanz also has two fields on his kit now. That is because the Signifier class gives us the All About Support skill, which increases the number of field arts that can be set to the arts palette by 1. Also, I did Nopon coin Lanz's Soul Hacker rank all the way to rank 10, so we could put Soul Hack on here to just start passively stealing arts and skills from enemies as we encounter them. Specifically from unique enemies. Lanz is rocking a lot of stuff to help him out with recharge and pretty much nothing else. Well, healing and recharge. Gust Bracelet will of course have his master arts fully charged automatically at the start of a battle. Circle of Wisdom will give him a little bit of a healing power boost. And the Fraternal Badge is a 50% boost to recharge speed if there is a non-defender being targeted. Senna is back in the Heavy Guard class, as once again we have broken through that level 10 limit, and we are running slim on defender options already that aren't, well, Lost Vanguard, which hasn't been transferred to anyone but Uni yet. Our hero is still Triton, so we can start transferring Soul Hacker to characters who are not Lanz. With that, our build is done and out of the way. Oh, Triton has a unique set of arts and does not actually soul hack new arts as time goes on because he's apparently already soul hacked every art and skill to soul hack, but he's forgotten all of them except like his 5 original. We are going to put Magnificent Fist back on. Oh yeah, that's one thing I do want to talk about. Magnificent Fist is a unique to Triton art where other arts recover 25% recharge when art hits, We'll see if it has an equivalent in some ridiculously tough enemies soul hacking art, but for now, we're not going to bother with any of that because Lands is not using soul hacker. No one else has it unlocked. So for now, it's just Triton. The soul hacker also, since it can be any of the 3 main roles, attacker, defender, or healer, depending on which role skill you set in the soul hacker skills menu. That technically brings us up to a total of 6 defender classes, 8 healer classes, and still 13 attacker classes, as you can change up what role soul hacker is to suit what you need it to be. This nice little inlet is where we're going here. Vinsong, hole in the wall.
Hey, Tyon. You doing all right there?
And it is a brooding and thunderous day as we progress in the main story toward the castle. Let's see what the Pagul dug up. Oh, we also did some gem crafting. I'll show you that next time we get to a camp, though. Just know that we only have 2 gems stuck at level 4 still, and both of those require you to farm items from enemies that are minimum level 60. So, since they are determined
better for intelligence gathering and makes it easier to hide.
As needing,
Strategic decision.
and since they are determined as having needing drops from level 60 enemies, it seems like we shouldn't have them at this point in the story, even though we are all already almost level 60. There's nobody here. Puzzles? This is definitely the rendezvous point. You guys take a load off, I'll take a look around. Sure thing.
It's gorgeous. I can hardly believe my eyes. Is this real?
We don't wage many battles at sea, so makes sense the seas would be relatively untouched.
Aha.
When people do die at sea, it's usually due to their Phoronis sinking. They drown. It's hard to draw out their life with a blade. Putting it that way, I guess it's kinda obvious, huh?
A little ironic that that's why it still looks so pristine.
The other half of my reason,
Oh, are we talking about that now?
about why I'm here, yes. Right? I told you there was a second half.
Hmm?
It's you, Mio.
Me? What do you...
You want to leave an impression on all of us and the world, don't you? I can only hazard a guess at what you'd want it to be. And even then, I'm not confident I'd guess right. But let me just say this. You've only got a little over a month left. We can't change that fact. It doesn't give you much time to leave your mark. If there were anything I could do to give you time, if it were in my power, I would. Not just me. Senna too. And Noah. We all think that way. Mio?
Sparks. You're making me tear up here, man.
Oh, sorry. That wasn't my intention.
No, thank you. Nimue doing.
Huh?
You were even being nice to Uni. Stuff like that.
Oh. Oh, really? I'd never even thought about it.
Let's give thanks if we ever see one of those trees of hers.
A Sophronia? Right. I think that's a great idea.
Everyone's here, good. Is this the person that made it out of the prison camp then? Kisame. Right, sorry to rush you, but can you tell us about the camp? I can, let me see now. Inside the camp, every prisoner is tracked using identification devices. You need those devices to move around the grounds. But if you go anywhere you're not supposed to, they'll trip the alarm and the guards will come running. So you can't get anywhere without them, but they stop you escaping, crafty so-and-sos. So how did you manage to escape? I'll be honest, most of it was sheer luck. I was working by the western gate when I happened to notice that there were fewer guards than normal. I asked my mates to help, and we got me out, alone. In other words, it wouldn't be feasible for us to infiltrate by the same route you used to leave. I imagine it wouldn't, no. In that case, why not drop the sneaky stuff and just get caught on purpose? If the guards figure out you're Ouroboros, the plan's gonna fall to pieces. They'll just kill you right then and there. At least until you can get information out of Gondor on the inside. You can't let the Agnians know that you're Ouroboros. Right, so we're saying stealth's the only way to get everyone out safely, Gondor included. Since you've mentioned Gondor, we used to gather in the central cell block for morning assembly, so it should be easy to make contact provided you can get in. Good info, thanks. I suppose we'll need more data points on the prison if we're to figure out a way of infiltrating it. I figured you might say that, so I got busy while I waited here observing Agnian troops. Seems to me you might have more luck getting information from them, seeing as how I only saw one part of the prison. Can you see that island to the northwest? That's Corn Island. Really looks more like Crystal Island to me. I saw the Agnian transport Balena heading that way. It's most likely a Levnis from the castle, so if you can access a terminal or something, you might be able to learn a thing or two. And then there's Thurbin Island to the northeast. It has the Erythia relay base on it. Permanent garrison and all, so you won't have trouble finding information there. It sounds like we'll have to accept a certain level of risk since there is no other way. We just want to get the info, right? We can slip in and out without getting caught, quick as you like. Yes, I would like that, but how likely does it sound? More data on the prison is important. Sure, but it won't mean much if we don't figure out how to circumvent the ID devices. Here, you can use this. It's the device they'd put on me. And these. These are the ones from my friends who died in the camp. Should be enough for all of you and then some. Thanks, we appreciate it. Jansen? About those ID devices, mind letting me have a crack? I think I can pull the warning systems out of them. And since you need a few, I'd like to borrow Nisik. Understood, thank you. So with the devices in Krito's hands, we'll see what we can find out on Corn Island and Thurbin Island.
That looks like a good rest spot.
Vinsong Holm Camp, as good a place as any to
Fight on empty batteries.
show off my gem crafting progression. We do even have some level 6 gems already. Basically, to get the stuff you need for these, you're going to want to be farming in the Kevis Castle region and the Cadenzia region. Like I said, Lifebearer 5 requires 2 fatty Serpron fillets, which Serprons are pretty much minimum level 60. About 16 levels above the recommended level for Chapter 5. And Dispersed Bloodlust 5, which reduces aggro generated when using arts, requires giant Serpron scales. Once again, Serprons are pretty much minimum level 60. You could also, if you're lucky with your Anlude drops, get 2 legendary Anlude antlers and skip level 5 completely. However, I was not that lucky in my farming of Anludes. I only got like 1 or 2 antlers, and they were common or rare, none legendary. So I'm going to wait for the Serpron scales, then maybe see if it's possible to skip the Anlude antlers.
All right, get going.
Lifebearer, the other gem that has a cap right now at level 4 due to needing Serpron parts, is just flat out increasing healing value. Not the most exciting gem ever, but pretty good in certain situations. Oh, one thing I didn't check with Noah in particular was... Yes, we can put Deflector Field on any class now that we've reached 20 in Guardian Commander of Noah. I'm actually going to put Infinity Blade on Noah. That's a cool one to have with us. We're gonna embark on our boat. Make Mrs. Puff proud and not crash into anything while boating. I can't promise that. See right there, level 64 Serpron. One of those would definitely give you what you need as far as materials go, but I'm already high enough level as it is. I don't want to get any higher level. Boom. A bumper meet that Gyark. I don't care if they wouldn't even drop materials. I just want to, you know, run things over and, you know, deal damage to them. Corn Island.
This must be Corn Island, the place Kasame told us about.
Double Crag Gate.
The island and head for the opposite side. That'll be where Agnians keep the transport.
These Gulkin do drop some items needed for the level 5 gems. I think even a couple needed for level 6 ones. These camels are different looking to the ones we found over on the other island. The central island, that is some might say. Oh, that decaying, like, sandbar island of all the, like, decaying latticework thing in the middle there. I'm gonna say that's the fossilizing remains of the main Leftherian Titan in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. There's another one of those big ol' Serprons. That one looks even bigger than normal, so it's probably a elite. Or an elite, that is the proper English for it. And we'll pick a fight with these Gulkins.
All set and ready to tumble. Tough, I've got to keep their attention. You're dealing with me.
Heal harmony.
Crash ahead! Across the enemy!
And even though Signifier's talent art is a 6 gauge fill up, we're already almost full on it. We'll give everyone 2 random buffs. If you do want to use one of Signifier's actual damage dealing art, both of them have a effect dealing extra damage to the target per buff active on the character. Yeah, you actually kind of were there, Lan. Signifier so far seems to be a really solid class. And not just because I've been only ever really fighting stuff under my level as it. The Balena, at least in name, is referencing
Found by the Agnians.
a enemy type from Xenoblade Chronicles X, a big ol' flying alien fish thing.
Let's use this spot to rest.
Okay, now, how do we get closer to the Balena? Queen's Ruffles. We got found. Wipe him out. Wonder how the lost numbers among us feel about having an actual Mobius with us. If I were a lost number, I'd feel pretty darn... I'm not necessarily the greatest about having a Mobius in our numbers. The only problem with Signifier is it does give lands very low base HP. We also did cap on some Kavesi item drops when grinding out the gems in the castle region. So it's nice to see Agni and troops in front of us for once. No more enemies. Good, let's check inside the ship. I think some of us should stand guard outside. Alright, I'll be the lookout. Me too.
So, Ouroboros does training as well, huh?
You're...
Shania. Shania Reed. About your rescue mission. Gondor and I are friends from the crib.
I don't know that word, crib. Does it mean you've known each other for a while?
I guess you don't use that expression, huh? Why even use words? Feels like we're just talking at cross purposes.
Sorry about that.
Know what? Forget it. Well, gonna answer my question?
You mean about training?
Yeah?
That's the thing. Mimi and the others are doing their best. I need to as well. Anything to help me get an edge. So...
Ah. Mimi, is it? That's what you call her? The one with the long ears?
yeah. We've always been in the same colony.
You're friends?
That might be saying a lot. She's kinda like my role model. She's strong, kind, mega dependable. You're Senna, right? Huh? Oh, it's... You are... I'm Mio, third term. We Haven't met before, have we? Oh, I'm sorry. Your name totally slipped my mind. But I don't think we've talked before. Uh, um, you know, I was just looking for a training partner. For the trial? I like to think I'm pretty quick on my feet, but I'm not really strong enough. Our captain said you would make a good addition, and that you're super strong. He's exaggerating. I'm totally average, totally. Wanna try? Teaming up? With you? You sure? I'm a nobody. Sure, I'm sure. I'm literally asking you right now. It's your choice. Well, if you really don't mind, sure. Really? Golden? We're a team then. Thank you.
Role model.
She's the one who's kept me going. I wouldn't be here otherwise. And after meeting you guys, now I understand what life's really all about. A part of nature's cycle. I'd never even thought about it before, but it's pretty amazing, huh?
How is it natural?
Huh?
Why should we swing our blades around without a hope of winning? Better to die and be born again inside their cycle. Just pulling your leg. Caught you off guard?
Well, yeah, you kinda did. How'd you expect me to react to that?
Hey, do you always work so hard for approval? That fun?
Huh? You can tell?
That's right. 'Cause we're just the same.
Come on now. Be true to yourself.
Hey, Mimi? What's up? Speak to me. Uh, it's, lovely weather we're having. I don't know, I'd say lovely. Bit overcast. Oh, you're right. Silly clouds. Guess I had my head in them. Huh? What was that about?
So what's our loot from the Belena looking like? A survey sketch of the Agnes Castle Barbican? Now we're talking. And yet it doesn't enable us to build a plan on its own. If possible, I'd like us to gather further intelligence before acting. Bah, always with the caution, this bloke. This time around, we'll need as much caution as we can muster, Uni. We might be able to find more information at the Arithia Relay base on Thurbin Island. That's right, let's follow all the leads we have. League Art prison information, or one of two.
Some relationships changed.
Hazy Dazi, a new Nopon caravan. We're here at Shilshil's request. Do you have a stone for her? Ah, that time is come, Where is stone of mine gone? Cannot remember. We're supposed to be collecting them for her. Ah, Hazy Dazi only have redstone, but I've forgotten meaning behind it. Friends happy to take anyway. Red Nopon pebble? As long as it's a stone, the particulars are unimportant. Shilshil must be real busy if ask help from human people. There's some scatty pon like Memo out here. Out there, so keep some peeled eyes handy. We will.
We got new folks on the map.
Hey, Hazy Dazi. Hazy Dazi here from Samon came to help. Many Agnes soldiers gathered at Arithia Relay Base. Frontal assault now very difficult. Please do prepare properly here before depart. We'll go ahead and see what the trader pawn has here. Welcome to shop.
Why don't we get a little of everything?
Circlet of Wisdom, healing by 25%. Fiber Underguard grants 60% resistance to shackle blocking. Shackle blocking is a debuff that makes it so you cannot block. Boosts ether defense by 15% on the shell lining. Quantum Scarf extends break duration by 25%. Learned Amulet grants a 60% resistance to bind. Plate Belt, you deal 30% less damage, but take 15% less damage. Hard pass there. Solid Weak Guard boosts block rate by 40%. This is multiplicative. Florid Arming boosts damage dealt by 20% when HP is at 90% or higher. Pretty decent there. We have a legendary variety already, so we're not going to buy it. Mint Potpourri grants 60% resistance to target lock, meaning we cannot be locked on to a specific enemy that is taunting us. See you next time. We do get more affinity with the Nopon caravans by talking to the trader pawns as well. So it never hurts to even just check their inventory. Let's see. Our boat is back where we left it. Let's go to the Double Crag Gate. And head to the buoyancy-operated aquatic transport. With Captain Whale and Captain Triton piloting. Technically, it's Riku who pilots this thing. Yeah, I still really do wonder how these 6 Lost Numbers Ouroboros candidates feel about traveling around with a rogue Mobius, a pirate Mobius. Ah, what do we have here but Agnian troops?
So this is Thurbin Island. We'll find Arithia Relay Base here, right?
The security's tight. It'd be a bad idea to approach from the front.
First blood. Nice move.
Oh, believe me, we're approaching from the front.
Things are getting good.
And Lance clinches it.
Give me a break. We all worked hard for that.
This was a nice fight.
Oh, this'll be over like that.
Don't hold him back now, landlubbers!
You're dealing with me.
Cheers for
You'll
that.
face me.
Cheers for that. Break. Keep it up.
We have transferred all the random buffs over to our allies.
We're coming together.
Across the enemy.
We're unstoppable with you around, Senna.
I'm the
Guys,
girl
get
with
ready
the
to
gun.
fight.
You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that.
Rapid shot!
On your eye! Energy grenade!
And we've drawn an elite into the fight here.
No good work.
Here we are with the 2 random buffs to everyone.
Keep it coming! You're on fire!
Everyone healed up. No complaints. Strong now.
I'm more than strong enough to punch your lights out!
Oh, well, we got knocked down.
Pain? Ready when you are!
Are you gonna knock you into next week? Showtime.
Keep spreading the buffs around. That is what the Signifier class does. Haven't been playing as lands much recently, and Signifier looks like an interesting enough class to play as lands for. Elite conquered.
Now I'm ready to make some
They
waves.
had the upper hand.
They're mincemeat. Kick 'em aside.
Stay alert and alive. Spark! I'll make this quick.
Transfer our buffs to everyone now here.
Good job, Uni.
Extended slap.
Driving
I know
arrow.
just where it hurts the most.
Yeah. Feels just like it should.
Rapid shot.
Aerial.
Heal harmony.
Yeah, what's his face here?
You're dealing with me. Things are building up.
Time to end this.
Oh yeah, Triton here has a unique topple art that cannot be usable by anyone else due to him having his own unique arts that are not actual soul hack arts. It does give Triton a little bit of coverage in sort of combos.
I'll draw the reinforcements. You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that.
Great.
Ready to feed 'em some pain?
Yeah, let's do this.
Heal harmony.
I know you have to even say the half of it.
Sometimes brute force is the answer.
Driving arrow.
Feel that? Oh yeah!
The strength.
And something I want to comment on from the first voiced cutscene of this episode. Whereas Tyon been for the past couple weeks that he thinks Mio still has just over a month left. Yes, I know technically no time passes when we're doing side quests, but still, Mio's got way less than a month left to live now.
I see you.
No way we can lose.
Do it, Tyon. Oh, you're sparking spark now, mate. With strength unbridled. Are you prepared? Time for the full test.
Resonant flow. Time to win out the big gun.
All right, Lance.
Go for it, Tyon.
Very well.
Sudden impact.
Such are the workings of a tactical mind.
Break every limit. Resonant edge.
And that took that care of that.
So, when's the battle happening?
Anyway, through here, now that we've conquered all those numbnutses. Ah, Southgate Key should help with that.
Oh, this'll be over like that.
Stay alert and alive.
Oriole.
Uppercut. Shot across the enemy.
Rapid shot.
Gotta keep their attention. You're dealing with me.
Set our fields, set a buff on everyone.
Across the enemy.
This is one class that I think will be kind of fun to be able to link the skill from Flash Fencer to have talent gauge filled at the start of a battle. That is one we are going to get the ability to use on other classes eventually. We just have to get Best Girl back and ascend her to rank 20 first.
My power flows free.
I know. Feeling good.
I have a feeling that we are going to reawaken the sleepers once we find the real queens, which is the whole point of this quest line here. In order to, well, for starters, there's no way a character as cool looking as Kamaravu is just gonna be there for a plot device. He's gonna be playable, but we need him to be reborn before he's playable.
Not to worry, just stick to the plan. You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that. Orioles!
You gotta face me.
Good going, you.
Resonant flash! Heal harmony! Keep them coming!
Time to end this.
Go!
Too easy. Come after me, and that's what you get.
If only you didn't charge off on your own.
Go!
You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that! That should give us a leg up!
Nice move,
You gotta
Shania.
face me.
Good going, you.
Resonant flash!
Do even better. I'll keep the enemies on
Let's
me.
show them.
Man, I'm fit to burst.
We're unstoppable with you around, Senna.
I'm the girl with the gall.
There's gonna be another brawl at the gate here. Seems to be locked. Something around here we missed for another gate key. I'm just gonna say right now, Signifier looks a little ridiculous on lands, but I certainly think it looks better than the Agni and Yumsmith.
I'm so ready for this.
Orioles!
Crash down. You gotta face me.
Cheers for that! Resonant flash!
That's the weak point.
Very attentive of you.
Advanced cooldown!
I see you.
Let's show them.
I can feel it in my bones.
No good, huh?
Fire!
Go! Orioles!
Creep's strong now.
Let's use it to the max!
Howard react down.
Cry of faith!
See? I'm sorry.
2 buffs to everyone. Let's give everyone a Lanz's buffs.
Feel that? Oh yeah!
You want some more?
I think if Lanz gives a buff that's already present on them, it'll refresh the duration. Maybe, maybe not.
I see you.
Orioles!
Don't try to refuse the heat.
Down it goes.
Did you see me in
They had
action,
the
Mimi?
upper hand.
Sure I did, Sana. You look great.
Gate key acquired during all that kerfluffle. All right. Avis, elite level 45.
Mince meat! Kick him aside!
I'm so ready for this. Crash out! You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that! Heal harmony!
What's the enemy? No leg lock. Things are building up.
Sometimes brute force is the answer. Break.
Surrender before we grind you into dust!
You want some more? Mighty crash out!
No line of
You're
faith.
dealing with me.
Give everyone double buffs here.
Exactly momentum.
I know. Feeling good.
Resonant flash! Heal harmony! That should give us a leg up!
This will keep me going. They broke away.
I see you.
You gotta face me.
I can see why they gave this talent art a recharge rating of 6. It definitely charges up fast still despite it.
Stay with this!
Probably because this class has double the field effects of any other healer class. You're normally only locked to 1 per 6 art layout.
Too easy.
But here you're able to double that to 2, effectively doubling how quickly you're able to generate talent gauge.
Time to get cracking! Resonant
You're
flash!
dealing with
Heal harmony! Alright, keep
Sometimes brute force is the answer.
I see you!
Shadow Eye!
Try my arrow!
I tried.
Too easy. Come after me, and that's what you get.
If only you didn't charge off on your own.
You're dealing with me.
Time to get cracking.
All right. Let's start buffing everyone up here.
You're a lifesaver.
Get down that sweet, sweet field progress.
Time to end this. On your ass!
Heal Harmony. I feel the power.
Now we're in the swing of things.
Use the double buff up here.
Take it to him!
Spirit Raven.
We'll forge our own way.
All right, Noah, getting the KO with that Infinity Blade.
Very attentive of you.
You wanna play?
Now,
Let's use it to the max.
good thing we found this.
How many of these Acnean clods are there?
Well, it is an enemy military facility. Maybe we really should have looked for a better route.
Nah, this is fine, guys.
I'll whack 'em good.
We're just showing off how OP the Signifier class is, right?
I see you!
Like I said, I have a feeling it's not just that we're over level, but that Signifier with its focus on a lot of buffs, spreading buffs around, is just a little bit unbalanced compared to some of the other classes. Considering characters never get buff resistance, whereas enemies will get debuff resistance.
Now we're in the swing of things.
Oriole. Staying. Power. Oh yeah.
You want some more? My ultimate scream.
Ready to feed him some pain?
There we go, conquered.
You're dealing with me.
Time to get cracking.
All figured out. My power flows free. Are you pissed? Mad? Showtime. You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that. Oriole.
Let's get a random buff up here.
I'm pretty much invincible at this stage. Might keep mine. I'm fit to burst. You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that.
All right, double mechs here.
Shockwave. Shield wall.
Heal Harmony. Cry of faith.
Double buff everyone here.
Our time's nearly up. Big uppercut. This ain't the half of it.
Sometimes brute force is the answer.
Time for Oriole.
I'll keep the enemies on me.
Show us what you
Random buffs, spread everything around.
Scream.
Heal Harmony.
I'll keep the enemies on me. My power flows free.
We can do better yet.
Big.
We'll forge our own way.
Let's do it, Tyon.
Boom, down. Lance has mastered a skill, meaning he has hit rank 5 in Signifier. No knock-on coins were spent in the acquisition of these ranks.
Deadly Twister.
Advanced cooldown. Cry of faith.
Deadly Twister.
Tear it up for me, Senna.
There we go. Another elite conquered.
Our time's nearly up.
This be a rare sight.
It's always a rare sight when we got a friendly Mobius around. So you are right about something, Triton.
To see it for yourself, eh?
Relay base bridge. Locked. That's gonna be up there. Yep, I see it.
Oh, this'll be over like that.
No holding back now, lad lovers.
Rapid shot!
On your ass!
Cheers for that. That should give us a leg up.
Let's show them.
Feel it in my bones.
Ha!
Energy grenade.
Go! Staying! Power!
Pull!
Orioles!
Magnificent thing!
You might want to surrender before we grind you into dust.
The strength. It's amazing. Half of it.
Time to end this.
Orioles!
Random
You
buff.
might want to surrender.
Spread everything around.
You want some more?
A double buff.
You're pretty daring, Triton.
We just got critical plus there. I don't know if that's rate or damage, but that seems kinda a pog.
I see you!
No level up. Field wall.
Rapid shot!
Tyon's at rank 5 in Yumsmith.
It's a part of me now.
We're unstoppable with you around, Senna.
I'm the girl with the gall.
Right, sneak past him. Our knees can certainly take this more than our time allotment can, with more bashing of Agnians. So let's keep that off the menu and just charge straight into the base.
All right, we made it to Arithia relay base in one piece. What now?
The mission proceeds as planned. Look for info that might relate to the prison camp.
Aha, that's their mistake in not locking their doors.
This
I
could be
think we gotta
dicey.
let it.
Taskmaster Empyrean, it's time.
You're dealing with me.
Cheers for that.
Might be big. Power grid. Shockwave. I'll get the enemies are building up.
Time to end this.
That should give us a leg up.
Appreciate it.
I'll keep up the attack.
Very attentive of you.
Go!
Driving arrow!
Everybody focus here. Or I guess don't focus here.
Appreciate it.
Take out the chaff.
Shockwave. My power flows free.
We can do better yet. How could I? I'll get you up in a sec.
Great. You're dealing with me.
So find Tyon over here.
Yeah. This
Lie
is
down,
bad.
don't sing it.
I'm gathering momentum.
I know. Feeling good. When did you?
Still do this.
You stay on guard for now.
Orioles!
Things are building up. Let's do it, Kyle.
We're up a big
There's
time.
enough to
You
make
weren't
it
ready for
great.
this.
With strength unbridled.
Let's show them what we're made
Are
of.
you pissed? Burn to the point ready.
Ready to feel some pain?
All right, the chaff out of the way. We have just Empyrean to take on. We're gonna overheat here.
Swing of it.
You want to play over Heal harmony.
Great! I know just where it has to
Remain
go.
ready. No
Time to
complaints.
get struck. Driving arrow.
Extended flash!
Shockwave. I'm gathering momentum.
I know.
Hey, Uni, you wanna launch him there? Launch and smash there, girl?
We can do this!
Press our advantage.
Keep it up, Neo.
My ultimate scream.
Go. Great. All the healing you need, right?
Are you pissed? Joker.
Orioles.
Twister. Man up. Let's do it, Kyle.
Let's keep buffing everyone up here. Interlink time. Ouroboros chain attack, go. Demon Punisher. What does a Triton do here? Either adds a 50 or removes 50 TP upon own reactivation. Oh boy, that is gambling. We'll knock it down with a Pirate Lariat. We'll spread the love around and do a little bit of damage here.
Extended slash. I got you in my sight. Hope you're ready for it. These fists just don't stop punch. Stay right there. Got a surprise for you.
Right, I do know what we gotta do. That was the art named Rapid Shot, and it took that long. Okay, Triton. An amazing Big Bang implosion thanks to Triton's big boost. Nearly 700k chain damage. And soul hacked. Enemy skill acquired excessive armor.
Now that's teamwork. This was a nice find.
Right, our objective is up there. We will do one last rampage through a few more Agnian chumps here.
Oh, this'll be over like that.
Don't worry, I'll handle it.
Oh, I think I finally figured out why recharges are so wacky on the talent gauge here. I think the talent gauge also gets affected by the whole skill and item where you have boosted recharge rate when non-defenders are targeted. I like having those on healers as much as I do defenders. We're going absolutely nuts with the buffs right now. Spread buffs around again. And give two more. Elite conquered.
That was
Another
pretty
notch on
good.
my belt.
Hey, Tion.
It means there were no holes in my strategy.
I wonder what's around here.
There it is.
A last
That
squad for
military
us.
Info terminal.
Oriole!
You're dealing with me.
Time to get crushed.
A leveling up from this. We are now officially level 60. Well, except for Triton.
I gotta push through. Don't play with it. Oh yeah!
A double buff everywhere.
Spirit Raven!
Crash out.
Oriole!
Rapid
No
shot!
level up.
Lurking Spider! Heal Harmony! That should give us a
Heat
leg
is
up.
up!
More buffing going on here.
I'm more than strong enough.
The whole name of the game of Signifier, so it seems, is just buff, buff. Keep everyone nice and buff. Who needs personal damage when you can just make everyone else hit like a truck after all?
I've lost the enemy.
Resonant Flash!
Yeah. Feels just. Are you prepared? We're fearful. Go home. Deadly Twister.
Time to wear the big
Alright, Senna.
in that wood!
And now it's time for us to show off our personal damage a little bit.
I'd say we were moving in sync. Right, Tion?
We're now auto-selling Agni and dog tags. Nice. Huh? Not bad. Not bad at all. I've sent the data to your irises. Give it a look over for me. What's this? A map of the prison camp? We've got a good deal of info now. Let's go back to Kasame on Vinisog Holm. League Art, prison information, a new topic available. Let's, make like a tree and get out of here. And by that, I mean, we're gonna skip travel to Ishan Isle and boat over there.
This was a nice find.
Plumage Peachies. Plumage Peachy. Lots of rare booty on this isle here. Yeah. I feel like the boat is a really cool addition that was kind of necessary with how absolutely massive in scale the Erythea Sea is. Because this is just absolutely enormous compared to even the Aerith Sea and of course the Leftherian Archipelago in Xenoblade Chronicles 2. As the Archipelago was... It suffered from one of Xenoblade 2's main problems, which was the multiple different titans was a novel idea than just having the Bionis and the Mechonis in one. But it really took away from the grand feel Xenoblade Chronicles had with its two titans, and just made everything feel bland and like you were walking across a landscape that had some vaguely animalistic features to it. Yeah, I could not imagine having to
Dropped something.
traverse the Erythea Sea by swimming. The boat was not just a cool addition to have, but a necessary one. Also a cool addition to have is Lanz himself. Lanz, I've said multiple times, is my favorite of the main six, and it's good to be playing as him again. He's been playing a lot of classes I have no interest in playing for a long time now. Maybe we could have just teleported back here, but it was fun to have that boaty talk. Let's discuss League Art prison information.
Hey, listen to this, will ya?
Okay, tell me what you know. Let me send you what Tyon and I got from analyzing the maps. First, about infiltrating the island itself. It appears that there are natural caverns directly underneath Agnes Castle. If we break through one of the walls, then climb the cliffs, we can avoid most of the guards' attention. There should be even less chance of us getting caught if we do it under the cover of darkness. I seem to remember a little inlet at Hicks Cove. It could be a good place to wait for nightfall. Once we've ascended the cliffside, we can approach the camp from the back. Notice the air vents. I expect one of those is our way in. That's quite a drop. Indeed, they won't be any use for exfiltration. These ID devices are certainly going to be a help. Well, if they're not, and you're spotted, you'll all be rounded up in seconds. So assuming we get into the prison, how exactly are we supposed to blend in? See how the vents also connect to the central block? It should be easy for you to mingle when the prisoners are all in one place for morning assembly. After that, you can move about in the open, calm as you like. As long as you've got an ID device, they won't suspect a thing. Once you're inside, you should make contact with Gondor as soon as possible. I've prepared a few possible plans of action for when you're ready to leave the camp. You'll need to change plans as the situation demands. Everyone needs to play their part. If you can get out quietly, head for Petulia Bay, where you'll rendezvous with Kisame. But top priority is breaking out Gondor. Blast the western gate off if you must. Well, it seems like we've got our plan in place. Riku, roger that. When preparation's ready, we take Boundary to Hicks Cove. Quest complete. The castle beckons, 0 experience, 0 G, 5 soul points. And with that, we're going to talk to Kisame here briefly. I'm keeping watch over Pelutia Bay. If there's any movements, I'll be straight over. Be careful. Oh, and please say hello to everyone in the prison camp for me. Right, we will, lady.
What you got for me?
We smell some booty over here. And with the scent of booty dealt with, oh, we have Kill Happy Brigidor down here in the water. He is soul hackable, but we're gonna leave him be for now and end the video here. I have been your Captain Whale. I hope you have enjoyed the return to main story. Although our last few side quests were absolute bangers, it is nice to be back on track to saving the world before Mio keels over dead. Now, if you liked this video, make sure to like, comment, and sub to the channel if you have not done so already. All 3 of those help me out more than you can possibly imagine, and none of them cost you anything more than a few moments of your time. With all that said and done, though, I have been your Captain Whale. I hope you all are having fantastic days, Whale Pod. But until next time, this is goodbye.